All right, guys, the Sacramento Kings season is officially over. They lose their final game in Portland against the Trailblazers. Final score from Portland 122 to 110. The Sacramento Kings will end this season at 22-60. Um, boy, just thinking about opening night until to this very last game of the season, never did I ever think that the Kings were going to be this bad this year. I mean, let's face it, this was one of the worst seasons I endured as a content creator for the Sacramento Kings and as a fan. And no, mind you, I've seen this team. I've seen some terrible, terrible basketball over the last 20 years of Sacramento Kings basketball. This season is up there as one of the worst that I've ever seen. At a point where I thought that they weren't going to win 17 games, this stat-wise, record-wise, could have been historically the worst season ever. But this is right up there. I mean, I think this is the fourth worst season ever in franchise history. This season was pretty bad. And the Kings actually made some noise earlier during the day today. Doug Christie will be retained, and he will be the Sacramento Kings head coach for next season. So we'll talk about more about Doug Christie in a little bit, but let's start off with the numbers with our starting five. Precious Chua in 35 minutes, he had 27 points, 11 boards, 4 assists, 1 block. Daquan Plowden in 22 minutes, he had 8 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 2 blocks. Maxime Renard in 37 minutes, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Nick Clifford finishing the season strong, man. 39 minutes, 24 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 0 steals, and 1 block. And then Devin Carter, 34 minutes tonight. He had 8 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. Let's take a look at the bench. McDermott, 26 minutes tonight. He had 7 points, 3 rebounds, 0 assists, 1 steal. Dylan Carwell, 21 minutes. He had 6 points, 8 boards, 0 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. And Killian Hayes played 26 minutes tonight. He had 9 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 0 blocks. So that was the final rotation for the final time of the season for the Sacramento Kings. Now, let's talk about Doug Christie. You can argue that this was his second season because technically the Kings fired Mike Brown early on in the season last year in December, and that's pretty much when Doug Christie took over. So technically, he just ended his second season with the Sacramento Kings at the head coaching position, but I get it. Officially named the head coach last summer, and this is technically, because of that name change, he just finished his first season as the head coach for the Sacramento Kings. You know, this is I'm not surprised by it. I know a lot of people, fan reactions, some are mixed and some are just not surprised, but realistically speaking, guys, the Kings were not going to, whether you like it or not, the Kings were not going to fire Doug Christie after one season, after hiring him officially last summer. They weren't going to, that just wasn't going to happen. As bad as it seems, even if they were decent, they weren't going to fire Doug Christie after this year, guys. So the news, the confirmation coming out that he will be back next season did not surprise me or alarm me one bit. I already knew that they weren't going to fire him, regardless of the outcome of this season. And, is Doug Christie, the Kings have a big offseason ahead for them this summer. I will say that, the players, the youth and development, the players loved playing for Doug Christie, especially the youth. So I think that's a positive sign they're going to this offseason. And with their player and development, it's going to be a big offseason for Nick Clifford, Max, Dylan Carwell, Daquan Plowden, and I'll throw in there Keegan Murray and DeAndre Hunter as well, and Devin Carter because he's under contract technically. So, the Kings need to continue. The youth needs to continue to develop in the right way, and the Kings have a potentially a top 5 pick in this upcoming draft in 2 months. Having Doug Christie help select that top 5 pick potentially is a big part, probably one of the biggest situations in the Sacramento Kings franchise history. they need a hit on this draft pick. Let's face it. They need someone that they can be like, hey, you know what? We have a sure thing. Like, we have a for sure thing. We have a franchise cornerstone. They need that in this upcoming draft. They cannot afford to screw it up. Yes, you have some nice pieces in Neat Clifford and Maxime Renard, but I don't think 99%, the outside looking in, I don't think they view them as a franchise player. And that's no disrespect to Neat Clifford. That's no disrespect to Maxime Renard. They are not franchise players. The Kings need a franchise player in this upcoming draft. Yes, you can have nice pieces around the franchise player, and Neat Clifford, Max, and Dylan Carwell can be those nice pieces around your franchise guy. But make no mistake about it, they cannot afford to screw this pick up. They have to hit on this draft pick. And looking at Scott Perry's draft history, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good. He's drafted some stars in the lottery. Jalen Brunson. Russell Westbrook when he was back with the Seattle and when they moved to OKC. Perry was part of that regime, and Perry helped land Russell Westbrook. So he's had a terrific, fantastic track record in terms of getting that big piece in the draft. So I look forward to seeing what Scott Perry and Doug Christie do this offseason as they work together, elaborate when they work out their draftees, their draft picks, and when they narrow it down to who they're going to draft. And May 10th is a big date, guys. That is when the draft lottery will be happening. That is when we will find out for sure where the Sacramento Kings land in the upcoming draft in June. So I get that the draft is towards the end of the month of June, which is 2 months away. But next month is a big date for the Kings, and that's May 10th. That's when we will find out for sure where they will be selecting their draft pick in the first round in the lottery, at what position. Obviously, I want a top 5 draft pick. I think the worst thing that can happen to this team is that they could fall all the way to 7, 8, 9. But I hope that does not happen. I hope that the basketball gods bless us with a top 5. I mean, top 3 would be nice, but they for sure need a top 5 draft pick in this star-studded, loaded draft. And since the season is officially over now, you will expect some draft videos pretty soon. Be on the lookout for some draft videos. I will be covering some of my favorite prospects, and there's quite a few in this draft that I like a lot for the Kings, and I think that May date, the draft lottery, will definitely help us narrow down and who we can potentially take. But I'm excited. I'm excited for this offseason, man. I'm excited to jump into these draft videos and see what the Kings can do potentially. And it's not all doom and gloomy, man. I mean, honestly speaking, I think we've seen it where we were in a 2-3 year window, where we were 2-3 years ago. Unfortunately, where we're at right now. But knowing that it's a 2-3 year window, it can take that again. Gets me excited to where we can be in 2-3 years from this season. We could definitely be back in the mix, and that is hitting on our picks, making some key signings, some key trades. We can definitely be back in the mix, and I hope that once we get back in the mix, it's not just for one season. I hope it's there's some continuity, there's some stability in place, and I hope that it can be for a good playoff run. I'm talking multiple years. So with that being said, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this game tonight. You can talk about Doug Christie. You can talk about the Kings' offseason plans. Greatly appreciate you guys tuning in, man. I just wanted to say, the season is what it was, but thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in to what I have to say this season. Thank you for following me on my social medias and Twitter and X. Really loved engaging with you guys on there. Really, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, we all might not agree. We all might disagree on different opinions and views. But at the end of the day, guys, it's our Sacramento Kings team. It's our basketball team. And all we want for our team is to be in the best position to win. And I really do hope that they take a big step in that direction this offseason. and they will provide us with winning ways moving forward. Better days ahead, guys. That's all I'm going to say. And I really do believe that the Sacramento Kings um, days ahead will be better than where they were this season. So, with that being said, greatly appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Season's officially a wrap. 22 wins, 60 losses. One of the worst seasons in the NBA and in franchise history. But potentially it could be rewarded with a potential top 5 pick in one of the deepest drafts ever. And the Kings need a franchise piece in this upcoming draft for their franchise moving forward. So with that being said, thank you so much. I hope you guys have yourself a great rest of your Sunday night. Have yourself a great rest of your weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy. God bless. Keep pushing forward. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.